What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming.
Shut up and sit down.
Thank you for joining me for this Midday Monologue Monday. And today I want to sort of take this idea and marry it with board games. Something we've seen before, not enough of, but because of its more than pop culture connection with what's going on right now in the news and the Congress, how about seeing some more games, some more board games about UFOs, UAPs, flying saucers, flying discs, Foo Fighters, whatever it is that you call them, besides BS. Yeah, there's been a lot of really fun, interesting games over the years, I feel, that have to do with ETs, aliens, grays, UFOs, flying saucers, and things like that. I'm not talking about science fiction games. I'm not talking about science fiction games, okay? I'm not talking about Star Trek, Star Wars, Cosmic Encounters, things like that. No. I'm talking more about games that deal with the pop culture aspect of aliens, right? So there has been a few that I feel are good representatives of this subject to be placed in a board game aspect. If you're not aware, I'll quickly run down a list of some, but what I'm really here to do is I have some ideas and I want you to hear them. So yeah, if you're not aware of this, there are a handful or more of UFO UAP games. And I'm not putting these in any particular order. This is not a top of, best of, favorite list in any way. This is just an informative list. Please don't look at it any deeper than that. If you want me to put together a list of actual UFO UAP games in a favorite order, let me know, and I'll be happy to do that. But yes, there have been a few games based on the pop culture. Such games as Conspiracy, Don't Talk to Strangers, Escape from Dulce, Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space, Martians, and if you want to go into a little 1980s pop culture, also like Space Invaders, the board game based on the video game. But that's starting to get a little bit, I think, off of bullseye here a little bit. Yeah, there are some good games out there that are based on this subject. UFOs, UAPs, Roswell, things like that. But I think there's room for a few more. The first one I've mentioned before, I'm going to go into detail one more time because, hey, what the hell? The other two are new ideas that I had. Actually, it's because of them that I decided, hey, let me do this video. Let me do this. So, as I've mentioned before in an earlier video, if I find it, I'll throw the thumbnail up. But yes, the Horrified board games. I love them. Absolutely fun games. Me and the 20-Sided Warriors, even the missus, she loves this game too. It is fun. The way they bring it all together, the way you have many games inside the one main game. Yeah, it's all cool. Definitely love it. But what about a Horrified based on quote, real life aliens? So I put a quote there. So I do have some ideas for this game. First of all, I think it would be nice if the game board, keep the same general art style that the game has, but like for the game board, make it look more like a 1950s suburban town. I think that'd be a little bit more fitting for the UFO stuff. But with Horrified, it comes down to the individual creatures, monsters that you're encountering, your antagonists. because each of them does have a different setup, a different mini game that you need to play to defeat them. So what would it be for Horrified? I think the first one is a gimme, and that's the Greys. So the game is set up where you have something you got to do to advance your way to the fight to defeat them. It's a two-part process. So with the Greys, maybe they're probing people, and you have to avoid being probed or being probed a certain number of times. And if you avoid that, then you're able to gather enough information and evidence to then defeat them. Thematically, it would be that you are getting the military to fight them, which in this case you'd be generating just enough of the weapon clues to take them out. Now, they're not alone. There's several different races that is believed by UFO, UAP pop culture that are here on Earth and visiting Earth, and another is the Nordics. So what would the Nordics be in this game? Well, not every monster in Horrified is definitely, evil and you need to put down, like in the original game with the Frankensteins, for lack of a better name. So I see the Nordics something like this, that you have to uncover their riddle. And then after you do that, then you have to arrange a setup, a meeting with them and the government in order to achieve a goal against the Nordics. Now, controversial whether any of this is real or not, but let's just go down the path that this is real. The next question for the next race here is: are they aliens? Or are they ultra-terrestrials from inside this Earth? We don't know, but let's see in the Horrified Alien Invasion game. Let's see some reptilians, huh? And I think the reptilians you're gonna have to. This is just gonna be like you have to spend the game getting these high-grade, secret sci-fi military gear that's been secretly developed. And when you have enough of it, it's just taking the reptilians out. I don't know. This is just basic ideas that I've had. Now, the insectoids, right? They're also popular. They're pretty popular in modern-day UFO belief. So maybe with the insectoids, you have to find clues that will lead you to their human market, where they have captured humans that they're going to keep and feed on later. And then when you get there, you have to spend a certain amount of clues to free those prisoners from the insectoids. For a fifth one, I guess the hybrids. Right? The ones that aren't quite Greys or Nordics or even reptilians, but they're partially. And I think you have to gather evidence of their existence, first of all. You have to get enough clues that's going to prove that these creatures exist, and then you're going to have to expose them and their plan to take over the world with subterfuge, secretly getting into places of power, things like that. And then that's 5, right? So for a 6th one, like the Men in Black. But this one I think would be a little bit different than the others in the other games. Instead of really having to take care of them, to deal with them, the Men in Black would be played in every game mode, regardless of how many aliens you are fighting or dealing with in this Horrified Alien Invasion game. They're going to be this force that's going around trying to undermine everything you are doing while you're trying to do it. Almost like the way the Invisible Man in Universal goes around stealing clues, becoming a problem to the players. I see the Men in Black being something like that. They're trying to take away your evidence. They're trying to stop you from exposing this. And this gives a sort of AI feel component to the game without making it an AI-driven game. Yeah. Yeah, what do you think of that, right? For Horrified Alien Invasion. Well, another one I was thinking of, again, based on modern pop culture stuff here, is Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam. This is an old conspiracy that I think would make a fairly interesting UFO UAP game. So if you're not familiar with the conspiracy, This has to do with the government having a secret project to create these holograms in the sky that are going to, be religious figures and sort of take over the world in one fell swoop through this religious conversion. That's an extreme nutshell. There's a lot more components to this conspiracy theory. But yeah, so how about a board game based on this, right? This is kind of timely with everything that's going on with UAPs in the news and Congress right now. So like maybe the players are going to be having to move across a conspiracy board of the world, right? And they're collecting evidence, they're decoding messages, and maybe even having to infiltrate secret facilities, privately owned as well as government facilities. And through this, they're going to be able to collect evidence, or maybe even the actual technology, like maybe technology cards they're collecting at these places that of the holographic technology, the projectors, the mind control devices, the fake UFOs, and lighter than air dirigibles that are going to look like UFOs, and all that. And that's what you're doing. You're collecting this evidence of technology as proof of all of this in order to expose it to the world. Maybe this is the game that needs a disinformation thing. All right, so you have in the other game I just mentioned for horrified alien invasion, you got the Men in Black going around stealing your evidence, trying to disprove things that way. Well, in this, I see something else like disinformation cards, and these are going to be like things that mislead the players, that send them towards wild goose chases. It gives them false evidence for them to present and look like jerks to the world, totally undermining what they're trying to do. I think it would be an interesting game, victory point system game, in order to convey the truth to the world, get your message out, and have everyone believe you and know what's going on. Because if you don't, then the world is going to radically change. If you lose, everything's different. I think that could be. I think that could be an interesting game, a fun game based on a not so well known conspiracy theory. I think it could work. Yeah, I definitely think it would work. Now, for the last of these three ideas that I've had, something a little bit more straightforward, I think, and maybe not as that was a crazy conspiracy theory not even a lot of people know about. But maybe something a little bit more down to earth as far as conspiracy theories go. But with all this in Congress now, is this a conspiracy anymore? I don't know. But this is not the show to talk about that. But what about something based exactly on what's going on right now? This whole UFO wave and flaps of information that's going on. Something I can definitely see changing things. Yeah, this would be a game to change attitudes and perspectives. A game, UFO wave. This is all about the waves and the flaps. UFO wave, the galactic conundrum. Yeah, these are all just, working titles in my head. And not that I'm actually going to design them. I'm just thinking about what these cool ideas could be. See, now this is a little bit more grounded. Some people argue me against that. This one's a little bit more grounded. It says that, this takes place in more of a real, the real world, as opposed to most board games. This takes place in the real world where UFO sightings are a commonplace, right? They sure are. And you all players are going to be taking the roles of these investigators, these whistleblowers, and general alien enthusiasts who are going around trying to uncover the truth about why the government or governments are hiding information about UAPs and possible non-human intelligences here on Earth, and for how long they've been here. But why? You need to uncover this information, because if you don't, humanity is going to stay asleep. Humanity's not going to be able to advance to the next level of society with all of these beautiful technologies and wonderful thoughts, concepts, theologies, philosophies. Now we're still going to stumble in the dark if you fail as the player. So yeah, we go around collecting all this whistleblower information in the form of cards. I think it would also be kind of cool, maybe a little kitschy, but a little cool if when you get certain physical proofs that they have physical representation, items in the game, like terrain pieces, concept pieces, playing pieces, so you can actually hold on to on your player board that you've actually physically collected. I like that. I think a lot of players do like things like that also. So throw that in the game. Right? That'd be cool to see. But yeah, otherwise, you're collecting these evidence pieces, right? Maybe cards for blueprints and photographs, obviously, and the little miniature pieces for actual physical evidence that you're getting. But you're also going to be collecting evidence as far as interviews with first-hand witnesses. But some of them are not going to be telling you the truth. Some of them are going to be delusional. Some of them are going to be looking for personal fame and glory, 15 minutes of fame kind of thing, right? And others are going to be just government psyop agents. And you're going to have to figure out in a clue-like manner and throw that into the game of who you can trust and who you can't. Okay, I'm not a game designer. These are just some ideas and concepts that came to me, and let someone else run with them. If you design this game, if you think I had a good idea and you designed this game, go for it. Go, take it. Take my idea. I'm right here on YouTube publicly saying go ahead and take it. But I'm also publicly saying when you design the game, send me a few copies of it. Copy to play, copy for my partner, and maybe something to raffle off to some fans. That's all I'm asking for. Right? So go ahead. Take these ideas. I think they have possibilities. But I think in general, the concept, the feel, the theme, the thematic feel of UAPs, disclosure, what's going on right now, I think we have a lot of room in the board game shelves for that kind of title, that kind of game. What do you think? What do you think about what I said, and what do you think would make a good UAP-based board game? Put it down in the comments and let us all know. I'm your buddy Big John NG for Two Gun Pixel presents Legendary Gaming, and I am out of here.